Alert! Alert! Howdy, folks. We're playing The Captain is Dead today. I'm just going to get right to it. Nothing, no fancy intros. So, I've played this game before. The Captain is Dead is a cooperative game for 1 to 7 players. This is the Game Crafter version. Just after I purchased this, they released a new version that who made the new version of that? One of those publishers who seems to do everything on Kickstarter. Let me see. The Captain is Dead. Yeah, so just after I purchased this original version of the game, they re-released it in a retail version from AEG, Alderac Entertainment Group. New artwork, new components, basically the same game. I think there might be a few minor gameplay differences. Very, very, very minor, though. Pretty much the same game, just different look. By all accounts, this version of the game, the original Game Capture version, is actually the superior version in terms of component quality. Not necessarily the physical quality of the components, but the presentation, the art, the standees are a little bit nicer, even though they are just plastic pawns that you have to put stickers on yourself. But my big complaint with this version is the box. It is basically unlike every other game box I have. I don't know what you'd call that. It's like a box that you'd get like a fancy shirt in or something like that. But other than that, this is a fantastic game. I haven't played it in quite a while, so I'm going to be referencing the rules throughout this play. But I wanted to get straight into it, not keep you guys waiting any longer. So, once again, I am going to be recording this one because we're still working out the issues with the bit rate. I think so far it's looking pretty good this time. I dropped the resolution down. Oh, just as I said that, I had a drop. I dropped the resolution down to 720p and 30 frames per second. I kept everything else on auto as opposed to adjusting everything manually. Hopefully it's going to help a little bit, but we still got that recording just for the backup. So for the archived version of this play, we're going to get that nice recording with no frame drops whatsoever. All right, so the Captain is Dead. So if you've ever watched an episode of Star Trek, you kind of get the situation here. This is like the climactic moment of, let's say, a season finale of Star Trek. Everything is going wrong. The captain has been killed, hence the title. We are on a starship. There are hostile aliens attacking, and we have to try to survive and repair the jump core, which is down here, so that we can make a jump into hyperspace and evade the situation. This is an action point selection game, which, if you have no idea what that means, basically just means it's like something like Pandemic, Flashpoint Fire Rescue. A lot of this style of cooperative game seems to be a little bit less popular these days, or maybe I just haven't been hearing about the new ones, but back in the day, this was a very, very popular style of cooperative game where each player has a certain number of actions. So let's take this first officer card as an example. So first officer, you can see, has 4 actions per turn. That is the default, although some characters might have more or less. And you can spend your actions doing any number of different things that are shown on the back of your character card. As with many games of this type, each character has their own special abilities. And particularly, what's important here is each character has their own innate skills. So pretty much everything you do across the board including repairing the jump core, is going to require spending skills. You can spend skills from cards in your hand that you collect and trade with other players. But you can always spend your innate skills as well without having to discard anything. So the innate skills are a very important aspect of the game. The characters come in 6 different colors. There being 6 different, I guess, types, general classes of roles. And it being a 6-player game, although you can play up to 7 according to the box. So these 6 colors kind of sort of match the types of skills that the characters are going to have in their innate skills. So at the beginning of the game, each player is going to get a random one of these colored pawns and then choose one of the characters that goes with that color. So you're pretty much guaranteed a somewhat balanced play state. In addition, let's see. So we're going to be trying to repair the jump core. That's like our main goal. Like many of this style of cooperative game, it's not as simple as it sounds. You have to basically be putting out fires throughout as you're trying to accomplish this long-term goal. And those fires are in the form of these alert cards. Every turn, we're going to be drawing and resolving, I believe, one of these, but we'll check the rules on that. One of these alert cards, and something bad is going to happen. Different systems throughout the ship might go offline or even be destroyed. Aliens, which are represented by these little robots, might invade parts of our ship and prevent us from doing things. Other bad things might happen. System anomalies might happen that have sort of overreaching effects. And you can also spend your actions to do helpful things, like draw a battle plan by writing in the captain's journal, or check the internal sensors, go to the cargo pod and get some tools that you can then use for more powerful actions later on. But remember, our long-term goal is going to be repairing the jump core. So I'm just going to go, like I said, it's been a little while since I played this game. We're going to go through the setup steps in order. Let's start by reading the little flavor text at the beginning. I gave you a sort of overarching view of the theme of the game, but let's read what the developer has to say. Attention crew, the captain is dead. Our jump core is offline. There is a hostile alien ship off our port side. We need to repair the jump core so we can get out of here. You have trained for this. You know what needs to be done. Go do it. All right, so we're just going to go through the setup steps in order here. Oh, and by the way, this is a brand new copy of this game. I have not played this copy of this game before, so many of my pawns are unstickered. We're going to be putting those stickers on during play so as not to slow things down too much. Now, this is a fully cooperative game. You can play multiple pawns if you so choose. I believe I read online that 3 characters is a pretty good sweet spot for a solo game, so that's what I'm going to be doing. I believe with 2 characters, it's a little bit more difficult to play. I think the game is balanced for 4 or more characters, but we're going to be going for, I think, 3 just for simplicity's sake. So let's go through the steps, but I know one of the first steps I'm going to need to do is randomly get 3 colors of pawns. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do, put the system cards out on their various systems. There's 6 system cards. This just shows that those systems are currently online. As the systems go offline, we're going to be flipping those cards over, and you can no longer use that ability until you repair the system. If the system gets destroyed, heaven forbid, you can reinstall it, but it takes considerably more skills to do so. So we want to keep those systems in good repair. So I put those 6 system cards out. Now I'm going to put the 5 system upgrade cards. Here they are. down here. And then I can later upgrade the systems by spending actions in the science lab. We're going to put our shields at 100%. If we want to play a more difficult game, we could start our shields a little bit lower, but this is already a rather difficult game to begin with. All right, I love this part of the rules. It says, place the yellow status bar on the jump core at the position labeled insane. Okay, you're right. Insane is probably not the best difficulty setting for your first game. Start out on normal. If you're feeling meager and weak, go ahead and pump it down to novice. If you're feeling strong, bump it up to veteran. Let's go with normal. It's been quite a while since I've played this game. I cannot remember if it is generally extremely difficult game or just a somewhat difficult game. I've already shuffled all of the alert decks. So there's 3 phases of alerts. We start out with yellow alerts, which are a little bit easier to deal with. Then we get into the orange alerts, which are a lot more problematic. And then once we get into the red alerts, we've basically lost the game. It's basically, at that point, it's see how many more turns you can survive. There might even be a card in here that kills us outright. If you manage to survive all the way to the end of the red alert deck, and then need to draw another alert, a alien mothership beams in and basically blows your entire ship up. So we're going to stack the alert cards right here, and then I believe we're going to draw 2 face-up alert cards. Now this cannot quite fit this entire board on my camera as much as I would love to. So I'm going to draw the top 2 cards, and it says to put them here sort of vertically, but we're going to go ahead and put them horizontal. Actually, I can't even read that very well from where I'm sitting. So we're going to go ahead and put them off to the side here. Now, this is the discard pile here, so I have to make sure not to get confused, and I also have to pay attention to which one is the first one, which one is the second one. Now, remember, these should go here vertically up, but there's just not enough space currently to do that. So these are the alerts that I know are coming up. I'll go ahead and just say the one on the left is going to come up first, the one on the right is going to come up second. So I can see these upcoming 2 alerts because my external scanners are online. That's this system right here. If my external scanners ever come offline, I will no longer be able to see upcoming hazards. If I ever have to draw, this is still considered the top of the deck. So I could basically see the top 2 cards and know what's coming. I shuffled the deck of battle plans already. Battle plans basically let you do special abilities and then I believe are discarded. And then every player is going to get 5 skill cards. So remember, we're playing with 3, quote, players in this game. So we're going to go ahead and do 5 skills. These are upside down, aren't they? Do like that. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That will be our first player. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That will be our second player. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That will be our third player. The rest of the skill cards are going to go 8 here. Now, each player gets to choose a skill and put it in the cargo pod. Again, not having played this game in quite a while, I'm not quite sure strategically what would be the best thing to do. So we're just going to go ahead and put our most each player's most numerous skill in there. Let's go ahead and put another science one up there. So we got 2 tactical. Actually, yeah, we'll put a command skill up there as well. So every player's got 2 of at least one type of skill. This orange block is going to go near engineering. Engineering is down here. We'll just go ahead and put that block right there. It says we'll need it later. Hostile aliens are over here. And it says there should be 12. Let me just count and make sure there are 12. Yes, good. Sometimes they give you extra pieces, but you're not supposed to use them. But this is exactly the right number of pieces. Again, we will be stickering these later should we need them. We got some fantastic red torpedoes here. Lovely, lovely, lovely little torpedoes. And we're going to put those right here. In the torpedo tube. And we're going to go ahead and put the other torpedoes off to the side. Actually, let's put those not where the torpedo tube is, just so as to not get confused. All right, now, here's where we randomly choose 3 colors. Da, da, da. All right, that one fell out. So somebody is going to be white. Somebody is going to be yellow. Come on, come on, come on. Give me an orange. Give me an orange. That was a red. Okay. So in this game, we will be having a white player, a yellow player, and a red player. So the yellow player can be either the weapons officer or the soldier. The white player can be the hologram, the ensign, or the janitor. And the red player can be the tactical officer, the telepath, or the crewman. We do not have an admiral or first officer. We don't have a medical officer, diplomat, or counselor. We don't have the chief engineer or the teleporter chief. We don't even have a science officer, cyborg, or scholar. Would have really loved to have a teleporter chief in this game, but we will not have that option. Okay, so let's take a look at each of these characters and their potential skills, and we'll make a decision. So we've got the soldier. Can spend 1 action to remove all hostile aliens in the current location. Can remove all hostile aliens from any one location via the security station for 1 action. Versus the weapons officer, once per turn, fire the torpedo tube for 1 fewer action, or manufacture a torpedo for 1 fewer action. Both seem like fantastic support characters, not very useful in repairing the jump core, although the weapons officer does have an orange skill. Let's take a look at our other characters first before we decide. All right, the red ones, the crewman. Whenever he or a player in his location would become injured, he dies instead. Luckily, there's always a new crewman to replace him. He respawns on the bridge at the start of his next turn and keeps all of his cards. He also starts the game with a tool of his choice. So that's nice. The crewman just is constantly dying, but he actually that's better than being injured and then having to go fix yourself up at the hospital. Let's see, tactical officer. After repairing shields, may draw 2 random skills from the skill deck. That's a really nice one. Telepath. May give or take a skill to or from another player in any location for 1 action, regardless of the status of comm systems. May use the skill discounts of any or all other players in the current location. That's also super nice, but that one seems like it scales with player count, becomes much more powerful as you have more players. And finally, let's look at our white ones. The janitor may spend actions as wild skill cards for when repairing or reinstalling systems. For example, he may spend 4 actions to repair the shields rather than spending 2 actions and 2 tactical. He has 1 extra action per turn when he starts his turn with a tool. That seems super cool. Basically, having those wild skills without having to collect skill cards, that's super, super nice. But it also means he's not able to do a whole lot. The ensign may give or take cards from other players in the current location as free actions on his turn. So rather than having to spend an action to give a skill. May spend 1 action to move up to 4 spaces. This ability is unaffected by increased gravity anomaly. So he can move much more quickly. Normally, you can only move 2 spaces. And then the hologram can only move via the teleporter, unaffected by and can't kill hostile aliens except via the security station, cannot be injured. If teleporter or computers are offline, hologram is returned to and confined to the computer core. So, extremely powerful character. If you take a look, you can see he gets an extra action per turn and has some insane innate skills. But also has a terrible weakness, which is he can't move anywhere unless both the computers and the teleporters are online. So let's now get back to considering what we're going to be doing. I think I'm not interested in the ensign this game. So definitely it's between the janitor and the hologram. Telepath, I'm not super interested in this game. I kind of like the tactical officer. After repairing shields, may draw 2 random skills. If the shields get down to 0, or the shields get down to this game over space, we lose the game. So we want to keep the shields in repair. And she has the 2 skills needed to repair shields. So she could be like our shield repair person. We'll go ahead and we'll take the tactical officer. So that's going to be player number 2 down here. So let's get our tactical officer stickers out. There they are, tactical officer stickers. And very carefully apply them. Close enough. All right, other side. Very good. All right, so player 2 is going to be the tactical officer and is going to begin in the bridge. Every player begins in the location matching their color. I'm going to go ahead and put, well, actually, no. Hopefully you can keep track of where everyone is. It is very difficult to see from directly above these pawns. I guess I'll put them laying down like this. Now, technically, they can become injured, in which case you would lay down their pawn. In that case, I guess I will just rotate the pawn like this. But this will be much easier for you to read the board this way. Okay. Let's see. Now, we're choosing between the soldier and the weapons officer. My tactical officer is going to be staying near the shields. So this depends, I think. If I play as the hologram, I want to make sure I am able to repair computers and teleporters easily. So the teleporter requires 2 orange. The computers requires just 3 skills completely. Okay. Or three actions. Although you would repair all of those you would repair the computers from the computer core. So the hologram can easily repair his own computers. I'm thinking that the smart move would be to pick the weapons officer because he's got the orange, which again we definitely want for repairing the jump core and repairing teleporter. But I think it'll be more fun to play as a soldier. So we're gonna not do the smart thing. We're gonna do the stupid thing, and we're gonna play as a soldier. So we're gonna apply the soldier stickers. Oh, that was a perfectly applied sticker. Bravo me. That's amazing. We'll do the other side. And that is going to be player 3. And the soldier is going to begin here in the armory. All right, and then top 2, I can be either the janitor or the hologram. I really like the hologram. Hologram just sounds like amazing fun. So we're going to play as the hologram this game. Although I think the janitor is probably an underrated character. Being able to use actions as wildcard skills sounds pretty great. All right, hologram. Is going to start out in the computer core. Perfect. Okay. And that will be our first character here. And now that I've done that, I'm going to get these out of the way. And I'm going to move these guys over, I think. Let's see. I kind of like having my characters on the left side. Just for me. That's the way I like to do things. So we're going to put our 3 characters like this. And they each have a rank. So you can see there's a number on the top right. That is their... Oh, no, that's the hand size on the top right. The number on the top left is their rank. The lowest rank goes first. So actually, our second player is going to go first. Our, quote, third player is going to go second. And our, quote, first player, the hologram, is going to go last. And we'll just put those guys right there. Like so. And we'll just kind of spread out the cards so we can see what each character is working with. Believe it or not, we still haven't finished setup. But something very important to talk about, the teleporter. So that card's the hologram's card states that you can only move via the teleporter. So these teleporters are down here in engineering. You can spend 1 action to teleport any player to any location, and this may be used from any location. So if the teleporters are down, the hologram doesn't move. Hologram can't move normally. It can only move via the teleporter. Okay, let's see. Now, I believe we now draw and resolve 2 actions. Nobody starts with any extra cards. No, nobody I chose starts with any extra cards. And we'll put our aliens over here. Plenty of room for aliens right there. Oh, and our tools go in the cargo pod. Like so. We can spread those out as well. Spread them out just a little bit so we can kind of see what's going on there. You know, I am going to put these extra torpedoes down here because this is where I can manufacture additional torpedoes. Okay, almost ready to start the game. We just need... I don't know why this is not one of the steps in setup, but it says before you begin, make sure each player has chosen the role, then draw 1 alert at a time from the face-up alert next to the alert deck. Read the card out loud and do what it says on the card. Repeat this process 4 more times for a total of 5 alerts. You cannot override this initial damage. I don't know why we don't do that before putting the 2 face-out ones, because we can't do anything about these initial alerts. So why don't we just resolve the 5 initial alerts, then put out the 2 face-up ones? But in any case. So, first alert. Alert, yellow alert, yellow alert. The comm system is offline. All players on the bridge are injured. Well, that's our tactical officer right there. She is now injured. Alert, alert. Oh, where's the comm system? Comm system is offline. Alert, alert. Reduce the shields by 10%. Computers are offline. Discard the skill deck. So this entire deck of skill cards gets discarded. And the computer system is now offline. We cannot draw additional skills until we repair that computer system. I'll just put this here. I'm not going to try to lean it. Alert! Yellow alert! Anomaly. Increased gravity. We can only move 1 space for 1 action instead of 2 spaces. Teleporter is unaffected. We would discard this card, draw another one in a 2-player game. All right, so the anomaly is going to go down here for active anomalies, and we have to resolve this anomaly by researching it in the science lab. And you can see it's going to cost 4 science plus 1 action to do so. Let's see. Since the computers are now offline, the hologram cannot move. He is confined to the computer core. So that was 3. Torpedoes offline. Reduce the shields by 10%. The torpedo tube is offline. So we'll have to repair that. And 1 more. Alert, alert, sensors offline. Reduce the shields by 10%. Internal sensors are offline. Discard the face-up skills attached to the internal sensors. You know, I didn't actually put the skills next to the internal sensors. But that's fine because I would just immediately end up discarding them. Okay. So the internal sensors lets you see what skills are coming up in the skill deck. The external sensors lets you see what alerts are coming up. Luckily, the external sensors are still online. And now, since the external sensors are still online, we'll draw 2 new alerts so we know what's coming up. So the next alert is going to be the torpedo tube going offline. Now, what happens if the torpedo tube goes offline and it's already offline? I believe nothing happens. Yeah, if a system is offline and then is damaged again, it is not destroyed. So, luckily, that we don't have to deal with. And we know not to repair the torpedo tube until after that alert comes up. Now, override. What does that mean? So, override basically means you can avoid an alert happening. It costs three, I guess those are called tacticals. So there's 3 command skills. Let's see. Where's this in the rules? Overriding alerts. Oh, maybe it's... No, it's not one of my actions. Overriding alerts. Come on. Here we go. I don't know why I wasn't seeing it. It's right under the section on alerts. I was looking for it in the section on alerts. Many alerts may be overridden. Overriding an alert means you discard it as it happens, thus preventing its effects. Overriding an alert generally costs 3 command, does not require an action. So, if I spend 3 command, I can avoid that bad thing from happening. You may only override an alert that was drawn at the end of your turn. In other words, each player is responsible for the alerts that happen on their turn. You may use your skill discounts when overriding alerts. A diplomat may override alerts out of turn, but we don't have a diplomat in this game. So, we're now basically going to start. So here's how the game works. First player takes their turn. Continue until they've spent all their actions, or choose not to spend additional actions. When you complete your turn, draw an alert, read it out loud, do what it says. Then play passes to the next character, which would be the soldier, and then the hologram. Each player takes a turn, then draws and resolves an alert. Remember, we know which 2 alerts are coming. We don't draw from the top of this deck. We draw this card, which is going to be a torpedoes overload. So I know after the torpedoes overload, which I'm just going to let happen, the next alert would be an alien fighter ship. So I need to fire the torpedo tube to get rid of the fighter ship. And the fighter ship is going to make it so that every time my shields take damage, my shields take an additional 10 damage. So this, I guess, little dinky alien fighter is just firing weak little lasers, but every time a big attack comes through, those lasers do additional damage to me. And remember, I still have increased gravity here. Now, the hologram is not affected by increased gravity because he can only move via the teleporter, but he can't do anything until he's repaired computers. Whew. Okay, so we're going to start with our first turn. Tactical officer. She's got 4 actions. And I don't think she can draw 2 random skills from the skill deck because the computers are still offline. Plus, she's injured. So let's look at the rules and see what injuries mean. When you become injured, turn your pawn on its side to indicate your injured status. While injured, you may only move, kill hostile aliens, use the teleporter, or use the trauma station. All other activities are out of reach. So basically, I can only do things that have this injured icon next to them. All right, so she needs to go to the infirmary and use the trauma station. she can use the teleporter, even though she's injured. Let me just make sure. I don't believe I can draw any skill cards because the skill deck is completely discarded. Let's see. Computers. Yeah, we really need to repair computers. Now, Hologram can repair computers on his turn, but that is a ways away. So what I really like is for the soldier to repair the computers on her turn, because the tactical officer won't be able to do it. She needs to first go to the infirmary, use the trauma station to get healed up because she can't repair anything, and that's already 2 actions. It costs 3 actions to repair computers. Is it worth repairing the comms? Well, I can't repair the comm system while I'm here anyway. I can't do anything except move, kill aliens, teleport, or use the trauma center. So let's just go there. We're going to go to the trauma station. We're going to use the trauma station to get healed. So she is now able to do all of her actions. I think she's going to move the soldier out of the armory because when the torpedoes overload, the soldier in the armory is going to become injured. So she's going to use the teleporters. Now, the teleporters say teleport any player to any location, may be used from any location. So I'm going to teleport the soldier into the computer core so that she can repair computers on her turn. And what else do I want to do? Let's see. From the infirmary, I can basically only use the trauma station. So for my 4th action, I'm going to go back to the bridge, and then I'll be ready to repair the comm system when I get my next turn. Now, the comm system, once I've repaired it, I can, from anywhere on the board, give or take a skill to or from another player. Yeah. So I would like to get that repaired. And I could also repair shields on my next turn too, and that would be nice. Then I get to draw 2 random skills. All right, so that is the full turn for the tactical officer. Then we're going to resolve the torpedo overload. The torpedo tube remains offline. Any players in the armory are injured. Good thing there's nobody left in the armory. This gets discarded. Actually, let's make it so that the one on the right comes first, and then I can just scoot everything over to the right. That makes a lot more sense to me. All right, there's going to be another anomaly coming up in 2 turns. Players may not use or repair systems if no other player is present in their location. The science lab is not affected. Yikes. Okay, so that was the first turn, tactical officer. Good work. Okay, now it's the soldier's turn. She is going to go ahead and first repair the computers. So she's going to spend 3 actions to repair computers. Skill deck is empty, so we're going to reshuffle the skill deck. That was basically her entire turn, but we really need those computers online, or else we can't draw skill cards. And the hologram can't do anything, can't move out of that room. And then I know that enemy ship is going to be showing up, so we're just going to go ahead and move, teleport back to the armory, so that her next turn she can repair the torpedo tubes and then fire off a torpedo. Let's see. Oh, good. She's got all the skills needed to fire that torpedo. Okay, that'll work. Okay, so that was her turn. Very, very quick. The alien fighter, alert, alert. An alien fighter has beamed in. Whenever the shields take damage, we're going to increase that damage by 10%. We can see what's coming up next. Ooh, a direct hit. So in 2 turns, we're going to get the shields damaged by 20%. All right, the hologram is up. So he can move because the computers and the teleporter are both online. He's completely unaffected by hostile aliens, which have not even appeared yet. Cannot be injured. He has mucho actions, many, many actions. And he has a large hand size. Let's see. I'm going to... He could repair the torpedo tube himself. But somebody needs to be working on this anomaly. That takes 4 science. He's got 2 science. So I think I'm going to spend 1 action to use computers to draw a skill card, which ended up being tactical. Actually, I'm going to spend an action to repair the internal sensors. So 3 face-up skills always available. All right, so that was 2 actions. He's got 5 total. Let's see, the next thing that's going to happen is... irrational fear, another anomaly. So we really need those green skills. I can use the comm system. Is that online? No, it's still offline. So if I want to trade cards, I need to teleport to the bridge. So I've used 2 skills. I could just go repair the comm system myself. So that would be 3 to teleport, 4 to repair the comm system, and then 5 to grab that science card from the tactical officer. I think I'm going to do that. So hologram. So to reiterate, first I repaired the computers were already repaired. First I drew a skill, then I repaired internal sensors. I'm going to teleport over to the bridge. I'm going to basically communicate with the tactical officer to draw one of her skill cards and put it in my hand so I can start repairing anomalies. I really want to get rid of irrational fear as soon as it comes up. And then he's going to use his last action to spend 1 tactical. Is that even a good move, though? Because she can do it basically for free. She has those 2 free tactical. I feel like that's not a good move. So I'm going to use my last move to teleport to the science lab. So I am prepared to research an anomaly. Perfect. Okay. So then at the end of his turn, irrational fear. Oh, no. I forgot that was coming. So I'm not going to teleport there because when irrational fear is in effect, which we're not going to be able to get rid of it until the hologram's next turn, players may not use or repair systems if no other player is present in their location. So in that case, he's going to use his last action to discard this tactical card and repair the comms. Because he needs to stay here in the bridge anyway, and it's better than doing nothing. Okay, so now irrational fear has taken effect. Weird anomaly on the ship. Everybody is irrationally afraid, so they can't do anything unless they have somebody near them. Are you okay? My dog is having a weird dream. All right. We're going to have a direct hit in one turn. And then after that, the core is going to overload. The computers are going to go offline again. We really want to keep external scanners repaired. And remember, until we've fully repaired the jump core, we can't win the game. Like our ultimate goal is to go here and spend a ton of engineering, which I feel like that's going to be the hologram's job. But we've got to try to keep everything else in good repair. Okay, tactical officer. She's going to go ahead and she's going to repair the shields and use her special ability to draw 2 random skills from the skill deck. So, repairing the shields costs 2 actions, and then her 2 innate tactical skills, she doesn't have to spend any extra, and she's going to repair the shields by 10%. So it costs 2 of her actions, and she's going to draw 2 random skills. And it's another tactical and an engineering. She really doesn't need to have these tactical cards. And let's go ahead and we've got 2 more actions. I want to spend one of my actions to use the comm system to give a skill to the soldier. To prevent computers from going offline. Because I really don't want to have to deal with repairing the computers again. It costs like 3 actions. All right, so we're going to give a command skill to the soldier. All right, so that's 3 actions so far. And then the final action is we're going to move to the armory, because as long as irrational fear is in effect, we can't do anything unless somebody else is in the same room with us. Again, this is something that it really seems like it is much easier to deal with at a higher player count. I feel like maybe 4 characters is going to be the sweet spot for this game. But we'll see. All right, I think we have time for one more turn, and then we're going to end this recording and start a new video. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, we're going to resolve the direct hit. So we're going to reduce shields by 20 plus 10. We're going to reduce shields by 30%. 1, 2, 3. It's down. Shields are down to 50%. But that's okay because this turn, we're going to shoot that alien ship out of the sky. Teleporters are going to go offline in 2 turns. All right, it's the soldier's turn. She is in the armory. She can repair the torpedo tubes, which she's going to do by spending 1 engineering and 1 action. Repair the torpedo tubes. Go ahead and discard this card. All right, that's one action. She's going to spend 2 actions and her innate command and tactical skills and 1 torpedo to destroy the hostile alien ship. So this alien fighter is down. Now, this torpedo, let me just make sure that the torpedo is sent back to this pile. I've completely forgotten about upgrading. If I go to the science lab, I can upgrade things. It costs a ton of science, though. And I don't have any science-focused characters. Let's see. What's the auto surgeon? It's free action to heal. Seems useful, but... All right, torpedoes. Oh, you can even shoot... I didn't know this. You can shoot ships that are visible in the queue with your torpedoes as well, even before they come and affect you. And you can also spend torpedoes, it says here, to not draw an alert this turn. There's also tools that make things easier. Man. Okay. So she's got 1 action left. What is she going to do? Let's see. The comm system is online. So she can give an engineering to the hologram. We are then 1 step closer to repairing the jump core. Let's see, how many does he would need? 4 engineering in order to repair the jump core because he innately has 1 engineering. Ain't nobody getting his science. What's a teleporter inhibitor? Shield modulator. Reduce any new damage to the shields by 10%. I'm going to research upgrading systems. That is my alert. That means it's time to stop this video and begin a new one. But let's go ahead and wrap up the turn first. So, upgrading systems. You can only have 2 upgrades in effect at any one time. You can replace upgrades later. It doesn't say that your upgrades go away when the system becomes damaged, which is nice because that would be awful. So it seems like researching these upgrades would be a really nice thing to spend points on. But again, first I got to deal with this anomaly because it's a pain in the butt to have somebody else in the room with you to do anything. So I'm still the soldier, I believe. I've got 1 more action left. And I believe I am going to give an engineering card using the comms to my hologram buddy. And then when the tactical officer gives him 1 or he draws 1 for something else, he will be able to repair the jump core. Okay. Now, end of my turn, I'm going to draw an alert. But remember, I prepared. And I got those 3 command skills in my hand. I'm going to discard those 3 command cards to negate this alert. Basically, this ain't going to happen this turn. Discard it with no effect. Teleporters are still going down next turn, which is bad. But at least the computers are still online. Okay. It is the teleporter's turn, but first we're going to stop this video. We're going to start a new one. So, see you all in the next phase. And we're back with more The Captain is Dead. It is the hologram's turn. Let's see. We have currently no systems offline, it looks like, just doing a quick scan of the board. But we have 2 rather awful anomalies. We really need to deal with this irrational fear. So we're going to go ahead and do that this turn. So he's going to use his teleporter. He's going to spend 4 science in 1 action. He has 1 innate science, so he's going to spend 3 cards in 1 action to research this anomaly and deal with it. Discard those cards there. All right, so now we no longer have the irrational fear, which means we no longer have to be in the room with somebody else to do something. Actually, wait a second. Since the irrational fear was in effect, don't I need somebody else in the room with me? In order to use, I think I need to use the research station, which is a system, to research an anomaly. I think that's true. So that was 1 action to move there. We're then going to spend another action to move. Who do we want here? I mean, I think the soldier should stay in the armory so she can fire the torpedoes again. So we're going to move this tactical officer with us. That was action number 2. Action number 3, research that anomaly. He's still got 2 more actions. I think... Well, I know that the computer core is going to suffer damage soon. So I was going to say I want him to go to the computer core and draw some more skills. But the computer core is going to become damaged before he gets his next turn. Oh, but he can't become injured. So that's actually perfect. We're going to send him back to the computer core for 1 action, and then we're going to draw a skill. No, I can use the internal sensors too, so do I want any of those? Yeah, I do, actually. I want that engineering skill. So now we have enough engineering. We can repair the jump core, and then we're going to draw an additional card to replace the internal sensors. All right, that was the hologram's entire turn. The teleporter overload. Teleporter is offline. Dun dun dun. Which means he ain't going nowhere until someone else repairs the teleporter. And then all players in engineering would become injured. We have hostile aliens about to show up for the first time in this game. And let's not forget we still have tools in the cargo hold. All right, so hologram can't go anywhere. Also, we still have increased gravity anomaly, which means we can only move one space. Do these hallways count as spaces? I've only been moving via teleporter so far. Let's see. It doesn't actually say. Well, what's it say? It says move one space. Yeah, it doesn't say if the hallways are spaces. I think they actually might be. Let's just play it that the hallways do count as spaces for the sake of continuing. So it is the tactical officer's turn. She is still in the science station. Not much to do there. She has only one engineering, so she can't repair the teleporter. Is there any way she can use the comm system? Okay, yeah. So she's going to actually have to take one of these engineering cards from the hologram, but it's going to be worth it. So she's going to spend 2 actions because of the increased gravity to move over to the teleporter. 3 actions to use the comm system to take a skill from the hologram, and then 4 actions to repair the teleporter. All right, teleporters are now back online. We need that system online. And that was her entire turn. But soon she'll be able to come back to the bridge. Okay. Alert, alert, sensors overload. The internal sensors go offline. I'm going to discard these 3 face-up skills. All players in the computer room are injured, but he's a hologram. He cannot become injured. And we're going to get some hostile aliens soon. And more hostile aliens. All right, lots of hostile aliens coming up. All right, that was the tactical officer's turn. Now it is the soldier's turn. She's really good at hostile aliens. Let's spend another torpedo. Now it says we can spend a torpedo to do not draw an alert this turn. That sounds like a really nice use of 2 actions, basically half a turn to not draw an alert. I think that would be nice. So we're going to spend a torpedo to delay drawing an alert. Then she's going to go... That was 2 actions. She's going to teleport into the cargo hold. And I think she's going to take a tool. Let's see. So we've got a torch. Spend 2 less engineering when making a repair. I think we want that torch for the hologram. Pistol as a free action, kill 1 hostile alien. She's already really good at killing hostile aliens. Same thing with the rifle. We already have a character who can kill hostile aliens like nobody's business. Use the teleporter as a free action. Use the comm system as a free action. That's pretty nice. And then scanner. Spend 2 less tactical when reinstalling or repairing. What's the difference between reinstalling and repairing? Oh, repairing the jump core versus reinstalling a system, I think. No, that says repair. I don't know what reinstalling is. But anyway, she can spend 2 less tactical when doing so. None of those tools seem very useful. So instead of going to the cargo room to get tools, it's going to teleport into the core. And she's going to draw a skill. Science. Very good. I can't believe it's one action to draw one skill. All right. We're not going to draw any alerts this turn, so basically nothing happens. I think it was a nice use of a torpedo. It's the hologram's turn. So he currently does not have enough engineering to repair the jump core. Thought he would, but he does not. So he's going to draw a skill. It's a science. He's going to draw another skill. Another science? Well, that's good. We can start working on upgrades. He has a hand size of 8, so we're good. Let's draw another skill. Another science. Who shuffled this? So now actually he's got enough. So let's take the science. Well, no. So far, I don't think there's anything that makes you discard your hand. Maybe when you become injured. No, it doesn't say you discard your hand. Yeah. So I think he's spent 3 actions so far, I think. Yeah. He started out here and he just drew 3 skills. So he's just going to draw 2 more skills. A tactical and actually no, then he'll have a full hand and I don't want that. For his last action, he will take this science card from the soldier. Because I want him to at least be able to do something. So he's got this full hand. He's going to use those 4 science to hopefully research and upgrade. All right. Alert, alert. Intruders on the bridge. 3 hostile aliens. 1, 2 hostile aliens beaming onto the bridge. And I need my stickers. I'm going to sticker these bad boys. Oh, that was not a good application of that sticker. It's all right. I have anxiety. So I try to tell myself, it's okay if I make a little mistake. And it wasn't that bad. It just slightly off center. There we go. Okay. 3 hostile aliens on the bridge, and it's the tactical officer's turn. You know what? She wants to just repair shields, I think. Because after she does that, she gets to draw 2 random skills, which is a nice use of her abilities. Where is the security station? Oh, security station I think might be a system. Is there a security station? Yeah, it's in the armory. Okay. So I was looking at what the soldier can do. Security station. Kill 1 hostile alien in any location. So we're going to wait to deal with these soldiers. We're going to wait for the soldier's turn to deal with these aliens. In which case, we need to draw another alert face up. Reduce the shields by 10. External scanners are offline. How much does it cost to repair the external scanners? 1. So it costs 2 red to repair the external scanners. Let's see. That's going to go offline. We're currently on the tactical officer's turn. It's going to go offline at the end of the soldier's turn. We really don't want the external scanners to go offline. So tactical officer's turn. She has a hand size of 6. I think she's going to go... maybe she's just going to go draw cards. Because, again, I don't want to deal with these aliens because it's going to be much more efficient for this soldier to go over and just shoot them all, all at once. So I don't want to deal with these aliens right now. But that means I can't repair shields, which is what she's really good at. She could manufacture a torpedo. She has 3 tactical. And those torpedoes are really nice to have. I'm not spending that tactical on anything else. I am going to do that, actually. So she's going to teleport to the armory. And she's going to spend... That's 1 action. Now, she's going to spend 1 action and 3 tactical, which she just has to discard 1 card to manufacture a torpedo. And she's going to do that 3 times. She's going to do that for her entire turn. Boom. Now we've got plenty torpedoes. And the soldier is then going to be firing those torpedo tubes all over the dang place. First, alert, alert! Hostile aliens in the computer core. Okay, we've got lots of stickering to do at this point. Putting on these stickers. It's going to become very crowded here, but there's 1 hostile alien getting into my business in the computer core. We got 2 more coming. Two. We're just going to end up killing all of these immediately, but it's nice to have the stickers done. Oh no! Pylon in the computer core. And I don't mean like a steel beam. We have to construct additional ones of those, by the way. All right, soldier's turn. She's going to use 1 action to remove all hostile aliens in her current location, because while you're in a location with hostile aliens, you can't do much of anything. Let's see. Let's read this rules section on hostile aliens. Hostile aliens do not move, nor do they attack. They simply obstacles to overcome. When you are in a room with a hostile alien, only activities available to you are killing hostile aliens or using the teleporter. So go ahead and kill those hostile aliens. We're going to teleport. Oh, we have to reveal the next. Alert. Comm system going offline. Yeesh. Louish. Oh, that's going to suck. These next 2 alerts are very, very bad. What was I going to do with her? So I spent 1 action here. Spent 1 action here. I'm going to use the security station. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to deal with these aliens in the computer core quite yet. I'm going to go teleport out because I can teleport while the aliens are still there. And the aliens are not going to affect Mr. Hologram at all. It's nice. It's nice being a hologram. So I'm going to teleport to the armory. I'm going to use the security station to kill all 3 hostile aliens on the bridge. Pew, pew, pew. I assume that she's using some sort of like a camera like enabled turret, like remote turret to deal with those, and that's why her special soldier training allows her to do it all in one action. All right, so that's 1, 2. And then 2 actions. One, what is that? Command, 1 tactical, and 1 torpedo to not draw an alert this turn. So we're going to postpone having these alerts for 1 more turn. Okay, now it's the hologram's turn. So again, he is completely unfazed by these hostile aliens. He just passes directly through them. He's got all this science, and his hand size is full, so might as well spend it. So we can research basically any of these except for epinephrine ventilation, which gives every player an additional action, which is super, super nice to have, but can't afford it quite yet. So we can do predictive monitoring, reveal 1 additional card for the external scanners and internal sensors. Well, external scanners are going offline this turn, and there's nothing I can do about it, really. Unless he fires the torpedo tube, which he would have to get lucky with skill card draws, I think. He can do the auto surgeons, shield modulator, reduce shield damage by 10%. That's nice. Teleportation inhibitor, reduce hostile aliens. We don't really need that one. So really, I want that epinephrine ventilation. Can't afford it. I think he's going to go teleport to the science lab. He's going to spend 3 science cards plus his innate science skill. And I'm going to do predictive monitoring. The thing is, as soon as those external scanners go offline, we have to discard these revealed cards, which means we don't. That basically speeds up the rate at which we get into the orange and red alerts. So I really want to avoid that happening. But I don't think there's a way to do it without getting lucky on the skill draw. I guess the first thing he can do. Okay, yeah. So I have these 3 science cards. So I think the first thing I'm going to do is actually repair the internal sensors. So that's 1 action. I can use my innate skill to do it. And hopefully, bad luck. Yeah, I think there's no way. Oh, he could fire the torpedoes too. He just needs a blue. I think. Ooh. Why do I have 7 cards? I thought I had 8. That's a bit strange, right? I could have sworn I had 8 cards, but maybe I remember I gave an engineering card to someone else. So, whew. Let's see. I really want to avoid the scanners going offline. All right, so I spent 1 action already to repair the internal sensors. I can't see a way. Ooh. I just need 1 blue. Then it's going to be the tactical officer's turn. Those internal sensors are going to go offline at some point. So I probably should just let them go offline. But then it would be useless for me to use predictive monitoring. It would actually be a hindrance for me to use predictive monitoring because I would then be discarding an extra alert this turn when those sensors go offline. And I do want to spend this science. So so that's one action so far. We're going to spend one action to go into the science lab. We're going to research something that is not predictive monitoring, although that's the one I really want. I don't want to do it until after those systems have gone offline and then I've repaired them again. So that's 3 actions so far. What do I want? So it's not predictive monitoring. I could get a shield modulator, which reduces damage to the shields by 10%. That's actually really nice. Or teleportation inhibitor, reduce any new hostile aliens added to the ship by 1. Don't need it. Or the auto surgeon, which basically you can heal injuries for free as long as you're already in the infirmary. I feel like the one that's the best out of all of these is the shield modulator. I really want the epinephrine ventilation, but I don't have... Well, oh, no. Okay. Do I have the actions for this? Okay, I'm going to start by... All right, I started my turn here. I spent 1 action to repair internal sensors. I'm not going to undo that because I already saw what the cards are. I can go to the cargo hold. That's 2. How many more science do I need? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I would need 3 more. Is it worth it? I can't do it this turn. I would basically be trying to get lucky. I'm gonna do my original plan. It's probably, you know what? I could just research this anomaly instead. But I kind of like having the teleporter active anyway because of the computer, the hologram. So I'm not going to bother with the increased gravity. So we're going to go down here. I'm going to spend these 3 science to research. It's going to have to be shield modulator. Or is it worth it to just do 1 additional discarded card? I think it's worth it. I don't worry too much about the shields because the tactical the tactical officer is going to be repairing those shields and getting free skilled cards for that. So we're going to do predictive monitoring. Reveal 1 additional card for the external scanners and internal sensors. So 1 additional card here, 1 additional card here. Oh my. What a long and drawn out turn. Okay, so we've got 1 action to repair internal sensors, 1 action to teleport down here, 1 action to research a ship upgrade. That was it so far. 1, 2, 3. Seemed like it took forever, but that's all it was. Um, I do want to repair the external scanners immediately. So I think I'm going to teleport Tactical Officer up to the bridge for one action. No. Well, actually, so on her turn, she's going to want to repair shields, which takes 2 actions. Yeah, so she has that extra action anyway. So we're gonna, for 4th and 5th action, we're gonna go back to the computer core. Actually, instead of, no, because that card wasn't revealed yet. So we're going to go back to the computer core and we're going to draw this extra engineering card, and now we have enough to repair the jump core. Whew. So I've still got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 repairs to the jump core that I need to make in order to beat the game. I have made 0 of them. But next time it's a hologram's turn, you can bet he's going to do it. Okay, unfortunately, at the end of his turn, we're going to reduce the shields by 10%, which I think right now they're at 50. So they're down to 40%, and the external scanners go offline, which means all the face-up alerts go into the discard pile. We no longer can see what's coming. So we basically just ran out the clock by 2 additional alerts. External scanners are offline. But Tactical Officer to the rescue. She's going to teleport up here. She's going to repair the external scanners, which means we can reveal the top now 3 alert cards. So hostile aliens, reducing shields by 20%, and war room injuries. And then that was 2 actions. For her final action, she's going to spend 2 actions and her innate 2 tactical to repair the shields again, up by 10 more percent, up to 50% again, and she gets to draw 2 random skills for doing that. A very, very nice ability. Okay. But then, suddenly, alert! Intruders in engineering. 3 hostile aliens have appeared in engineering. Luckily, it's a soldier's turn. I'm loving it. So the soldier is going to, I think, kill all these hostile aliens, because I think one of the ways you can lose the game is having to place hostile aliens, and there being no hostile aliens to place. Yep. So she's going to go ahead and use the security station to kill hostile aliens. She's going to kill the hostile aliens in engineering first, because those are the most important ones. Then she's going to kill the hostile aliens here in the computer core. That's 2 actions. I could spend fire torpedoes again, which would just put off drawing another alert. I'm going to do that. So her final action is going to be firing the torpedoes, and again, we're going to avoid drawing an alert this turn. Okay, hologram. He's going to teleport to engineering. He's going to spend 4 engineering and his innate 1 engineering to repair the jump core. Woo! We've done 1 of the 5 repairs needed to win the game. Hurrah. Let's see. One, 2. Oh, I should have drawn a card to replace because we have an extra card revealed. I do like those having those command cards. Let's teleport to 3, 4. Draw a new one to replace it. We'll go ahead and take that one. 5. Draw a new one to replace it. Okay. Alert! There's been a direct hit. The shields are down by 20%. 1, 2, we're down to 30% shields. External scanners are going to go offline again in 3 turns. So let's see. Tactical officer, soldier, and then hologram's turn. Okay, he can use these 3 command, because he's going to get another one here, to avoid that happening. Okay, back to the tactical officer on the bridge. Let's repair shields. Let's do it 2 times. Well, let's do it once and see what we get. 1, I'm going to draw 2 skills after repairing shields. And we'll do it again. 2, and we'll draw 2 skills. That is a fabulous ability. But now she has a full hand. So she's got 3 engineering. We love that engineering. I wonder if tools count against your hand size. Let me look that up in the rule book. Hand size. Skill or tool cards. Yep. Skill and tool cards. Okay. What a fantastic turn. Oh no. There's fighting in the war room. 2 hostile aliens have appeared in the war room, and anybody who was in there would become injured. All right, soldier's turn. I actually don't want to fire the torpedoes this turn because I want the scanner overload to happen on the hologram's turn. Teleporter's about to go offline again. So for the soldier, I think she's going to go... I want to be able to repair the teleporters easily. That takes 2 engineering. So I'm going to go to the cargo hold, and I'm going to grab the torch, which lets you spend 2 less engineering when making a repair. Good. So that was 1, 2 actions. Actually, before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and just shoot those 2 aliens just to have them be out of the way. No, maybe not. Maybe not. No. I'm not going to do that. Well, no, yeah, actually, I do want to do that. Yeah. No, I'm not going to do that. Okay, so I want to get a captain's... I want to write in the captain's journal and get one of these battle plan cards. Which means I need to clear out these aliens at some point. But I'm trying to think of who's going to get that captain's journal. Because, for instance, the tactical officer could do it. I think I'm going to grab that one command, because command is just nice to have. From in here. So that's teleport over here, 2, 3, and we'll teleport over to where the hostile aliens are. Good. Okay. Hologram's turn. Oh, now we have to actually resolve this alert. So, add 2 hostile aliens to the armory. Alert! Intruders in the armory. 2 hostile aliens to the armory, and anybody who was still in there would become injured. Luckily, that is nobody. Draw another alert. Whenever another alien fighter is going to beam in. All right, Hologram's turn. He's going to grab, since he's still in the computer core, he's going to grab another command card so he can override this alert this turn. Draw another card to replace it. He'll go ahead and take another one of those. Draw another card to replace it. Ooh, another one. Well, what's his hand size is 8, so he's already got 5 cards. Sure, we'll take another one. So that was 3 actions so far. Oh, I could use the captain's journal with the hologram if I hadn't taken that extra card, but I already have. So in that case, I'm going to grab a science, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, I believe. And then I know the teleporter is about to go offline. If teleporter or computers are offline, I'm returned to the computer core. So it wouldn't make sense for me to teleport anywhere else right now. So I'm just going to draw this top card from the skill deck. And it's an engineering. So that is my full hand size. But I'm about to spend 3 of them. So it's time for an alert. He's going to spend 3 command to override this alert. Not on my watch. Scanners overloading. Psh. We're into the orange alerts, the harder ones. Reduce the shields by 30%. Active player chooses and discards 2 skills. This is where the game starts to get difficult if it wasn't already. Okay, it is the tactical officer's turn. She has a full hand of cards. I think she's going to start getting some engineering to the hologram. One. Let's see, that's 5. She's using the comms to do this. 2. And 3. So he now has 4 plus 1 is 5. That's enough to repair the jump core on his turn. And that was 3 actions, right? 1, 2, 3. Okay, so actually maybe we'll just do 2, 1, 2, and then we're going to repair shields. Spend 2 actions and her innate 2 tactical skills to draw, repair shields, and draw 2 skill cards. Gotta get those engineering skills out. Perfect. Okay. Alert, alert, teleporters offline. So we're going to reduce shields by 10% now. And the teleporter is offline, which means my man. Ooh. You know what? This is bad. I didn't even think about it. Okay. We're going to put these two cards back. I'm going to put shields. Let's see. Leave shields where they are. And we're going to shuffle this skill back into the deck. Because I just realized I was not thinking 7 moves ahead, as one should be. So, we need to get the soldier to engineering before the teleporters go offline. So I need to save one action to get the soldier to engineering. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to teleport the soldier to engineering for one action, and I'm going to use the comms to give my last engineering card to the hologram for the other action. I did not repair shields, so the shields are now going to go down by 10%. Teleporter is going to go offline, but we're going to be able to repair it immediately. And that alien fighter is still coming up. What is the next one coming up? The comms power surge. Reduce the shields by 20%. Comm system is offline. External scanners are offline. Gotta avoid that happening. Okay. Soldier's turn. She's going to repair the teleporter using her torch. Spend 2 less engineering when making a repair. Still takes 1 action, but teleporter is now in full working order. I think we're going to teleport to engineering. We're going to use our super skills to shoot all these aliens, because otherwise I can't do anything in this room. And I did want to fire torpedo, but I've just realized now I don't have enough actions to do so. 1, 2. I can't do anything while those aliens are there, so I think I have no choice. So I'm going to spend my last action. Yeah, I was hoping to use a torpedo, but I really want to avoid this. But I really need to avoid this as well. You can't see it, but the comm power surge is coming out. We're going to do it. Okay. So I really have no choice. So I'm going to spend my last action to shoot all the aliens in the war room. All right, now, alert, an alien fighter has beamed in, increasing all of the damage my shields take. And another orange alert is revealed. Player actions reduced by 1. Really, really bad. Ooh, really, really bad. Okay. It is the hologram's turn. Yikes. Well, he can fire a torpedo. But what he really wants to do is make it so that this event doesn't happen. So how can we do that? Well, we can give 2 command skills to the tactical officer using the comms. That means this event is going to happen. Reduce shields by 30%. And it's going to be an extra 10%. So we're at 40. So it's going to 1, 2, 3, 4. It's going to be at 0%. If we take one more hit after that, we're dead. I see really no other options, though. We're going to use 2 actions to give 2 command to the tactical officer. And then she can at least spend her turn repairing shields, which is actually a really good skill. So that was 2 actions. 3, I'm going to spend my engineering, and plus my innate engineering to repair the jump core 1 more step. 3 more until we can jump out of this mess. That's 4. Where was I? Where did I start my turn? Was I at the CPU core? I think I was. So let's just say, because that's 5 actions, so let's just say at the start of my turn, I believe I was at the CPU core still. We're just going to draw a skill. Okay, and then I end my turn here in engineering. Unfortunately, battle stations, alert. We're going to reduce the shields by 40%, 30 plus 1 from the alien, 10 from the alien fighter. And then I have to choose and discard 2 skill cards. I have really no use for these tactical cards, so I'm going to discard that one. And then I know this really bad anomaly is coming up, so I want to save my science card. So we're going to discard the engineering one, as much as I would love to keep those. I wonder what this orange bar is for. We'll see. Maybe I've missed what to do with it. Okay, and then let's see what awful thing is going to happen soon. Teleporter failure. Teleporter is destroyed. All players in engineering are injured. Well, that sucks. Another teleporter failure, huh? That's one of the least bad. Okay, tactical officer's time. Oh. Yeah, maybe I should have kept those command, because she's going to be drawing cards and she's already got almost a full hand. Whew. Bad move on my part, but I think it's too late to undo it. So we're going to repair the shields by 10%. She's going to draw 2 skills, and then immediately, I believe, has to discard before or after she draws. Hand sides. Yeah, so now she discards down to her hand size. We're going to discard this 1 command, because I do want to be saving that science. Sorry, this command here. So that was 2 actions. We repaired shields. We drew some cards. And then 2 more actions. Let's get some science to the hologram. And then she's going to say, "Not on my watch." Comms power surge. We're going to override this event, discard it as if nothing happened. And the next one is going to be players may not repair shields. It's another anomaly. Gosh, these anomalies are awful. I should have had the one that makes it so that shields, whatever. Okay. I think it's the soldier's turn. Well, I know it's the soldier's turn. I think it's worth firing torpedoes twice. Once to get rid of this alien fighter, and then once to just give me a break and avoid drawing an alert this turn. Got to shuffle the deck here. Yeah, I think that's worth it. I still haven't done any battle plans. Those battle plans I think are actually pretty nice skills to have. All right, skill deck is back. All right, let's do the holograms turn, and then I think we're going to take a short break. Maybe like a 5-10 minute, probably 5-minute break before we continue. So holograms turn. He's got 3 science. He needs some more. There's 2 science over here in the cargo pod. You know what? Maybe I shouldn't have fired that second torpedo. Yeah, actually, we're going to undo that second torpedo firing, and we're going to go 1 and 2 and just draw another card. The reason I did that actually, yeah. The reason I did that is because I do want this curious fatigue to happen now so that I can deal with it on the hologram's turn. So now it's the hologram's turn, I can actually do something about that. And I have enough science, actually. I don't need any more. We're going to teleport to the science lab. He only has 4 actions, though, because of this curious fatigue. Although I think that he, being a hologram, should not be affected by it, but maybe he is a hologram who has human-like characteristics. Let's say that. So we're going to do that. We're going to move and research this anomaly. So that was 1, 2 actions. We've researched the curious fatigue. Now we understand the source of it. We've dealt with it. We don't have to deal with it anymore. That was 2 actions. And we will just go three and 4. Oh, perfect timing. That's my alert. That means it's time to stop this video. We're going to start another one in a minute, but first we're going to take a short break, maybe 5 minutes. I think we're nearing the end here, one way or another. Probably in the bad way. I will see you all in a few minutes. Okay, we are back with our miserable existence, uh, playing The Captain is Dead, attempting to survive an unwinnable situation. I don't believe I actually drew my alert at the end of the last turn, and I had some thoughts. I think I'm going to do things a little bit differently because I know teleporters are about to go offline. Before the teleporters go offline, I need to do something about that. So instead of moving to the CPU core and drawing a skill card, by the way, since I already saw what that skill was, I'm going to just shuffle this deck. No, actually, we'll leave it how it was. What I was going to do, yeah, we'll leave it how it was. What I was going to do was teleport everybody where I wanted them to be, but I remembered, I actually thought about that, and the soldier is just 2 steps away using the increased gravity rules from the engineering, so I think we're fine. All right, so teleporters failed. Alert, alert! Teleporters have failed. The teleporter is. Oh, that's bad. The teleporter is not offline. The teleporter is destroyed. That is really bad. That means the hologram can't do anything. Oh well, the teleporter has been destroyed. I can still repair it, but it's going to take a lot of juice to repair that thing. Comm systems are going to be destroyed soon. Has there been anything else that was supposed to be destroyed? I don't think so. Offline, yeah. Ooh, that was really bad. Okay. Tactical officer's turn. I think she's going to literally just repair shields because we're about to get power drain anomaly, which means we cannot repair shields anymore. We want to nip that in the bud. So, and also we can't get over to where the teleporter is. So we're going to repair shields, 2 actions for 2 skills, draw 2 cards. Ooh, that's nice. I wonder if it's even worth repairing the teleporter. I don't know if it is. And we're going to repair shields one more time. Through 2 skills. As long as the comms stay online, technically I don't need this guy to be able to move. He can just sit there and draw cards, and everyone else can move around the board and do stuff. All right, power drain. Another anomaly has occurred. Players may not repair shields as long as that stays in effect. We've got another reduced shields by 30% coming up, and we've got an alien frigate over there. Whew. Okay, so what can I do? So I think I need to go shoot down that alien frigate before it is a problem. But then I'm thinking, I don't want the comm system to become destroyed. This comm failure is going to happen, and the comm system is going to become destroyed. And what's it going to take to repair that? A bunch of green, which I don't have, especially with the teleporters down. It's going to take me 2 actions just to get onto the bridge, or get to the armory, or get anywhere I want to go from the computer core. Yeesh. I'm very worried about this. I don't know if there's a way to recover from this situation. It's the soldier's turn. If I had just one more action, I would be able to shoot down the alien frigate and avoid the comm failure. Okay. I think I know what I'm going to do. We're going to set up the hologram to override this comm failure, which means he needs to get some command cards. Well, we've got one command card here. He would need 3. She could do it for just 2, but it's not going to happen on her turn. So she's going to spend 1 action to give a command using the comm system to the hologram. Or maybe I think we should just assume the hologram's going to do it. And let's just shoot down this alien frigate, because if the shields get reduced anymore, we're highly screwed. And we can't repair shields until we've done something about this power drain. So she's going to use 2 actions because the gravity is so heavy. And she's going to use this torpedo. No, because then, gosh. Because if she shoots down the alien frigate now, I think we still draw the comm failure. We can do this. Okay, so she's going to go 1, 2. She's going to fire the torpedoes at this alien frigate, and I just checked in the rules. I do not have to replace it at the end of my turn. So, alien frigate has been shot down. Very, very nice. And we don't have to draw an alert this turn. We're just going to slide these over. It's now the Mr. Hologram's turn. And we're going to cross our fingers and pray that we get some command cards. We're going to draw. I can draw up to 3 times, and then I can grab 2 command cards from the other players. 1, ooh, not what we need. 2, ooh, definitely not what we need. Oh, this is bad. This is very bad. If the comms go down, this is really, really bad. I don't know what to do. So I can draw another skill and just pray that it's a command skill. And that's basically all I can do. After I've already used 2 of my skills, I can't go anywhere. I really wish that the internal sensors wasn't just 100% tactical skills. That's useless. And we're going to do it. 3. Lord, thunder and Jesus. Okay. And we'll get 1 and 1 using the comms, which are still online. Not on my watch. We're going to use our command to avoid the comm failure from happening. And we're going to reduce shields by 30% at the end of this next turn. It is the tactical officer's turn. So I can't repair shields. It's a long trip down to the science lab. But I can't really do anything from here. Since I can't repair shields. We really need to resolve this power drain. What's coming up in a couple turns? Engineering may not be entered or exited via the door. Oh, that's what this blocker is for. Okay. Bad, bad, bad. Okay, bad, bad, bad. Everything is bad. Everything is horrible. And everything is awful. Am I right? Okay. So I'm going to go, since I can't really do anything else, I'm going to go 1, 2 into the CPU core. And we're going to draw. I'm going to have to discard cards at the end of my turn. Anyway. Yeah, we're going to draw these face-up ones. Or face-down ones. 3. 4. Ooh, just a bunch of tactical, which I really have no use for with this lineup of characters who all have free tactical. Okay. Alert, battle stations. Reduce shields by 30%. They are down to 0%. The active player chooses and discards 2 skills. I'm going to discard these 2 tactical cards. Bad things continue to happen. New ships are on the horizon, but I'm not even going to look at what's coming up. I have to deal with what's happening now. I have to be able to repair shields. I could fire another torpedo just to put things off by 1 turn. I gotta research this power drain anomaly. But I don't even have enough science cards to do that, and I'd have to go all the way over to the cargo hold. I really wish the teleporter had not been destroyed. My gosh, I need players. None of my characters, well, the hologram has free green, but I needed a green pawn. I think you need the orange pawn and the green pawn in every game, or you're screwed. Although, I have to say, Tactical Officer has been the MVP of this game. That is an amazingly good skill, even though you're basically doing the same thing every turn. Just not getting any greens. What was I even doing? Oh, it's a soldier's turn, right? I really don't care about this upcoming event. We're going to go... Oh, it is really bad that the teleporters are destroyed. I really wish I could have avoided that happening. We're going to go 1, 2 into this computer core, and we're going to draw 2 cards. 3, 4. Not super duper useful. I don't need engineering. I need science. I need science now. Okay. Alert! Alert! Alien transport has arrived. At the beginning of each player's turn, add one hostile alien to their location. That means, beginning of the hologram's turn, a hostile alien appears at the computer core. He's not bothered. He is unaffected by hostile aliens. He's going to continue drawing cards. Three. He hasn't done anything. This is his first action. 1, 2. I have so much engineering, but I can't enter the engineering room. Well, I'm soon not going to be able to enter the engineering room because of this dang anomaly. Should really play without anomalies. So in a 2-player game, you play without anomalies. I feel like maybe you should play without anomalies in a 3-character game as well. Or maybe it's just always this difficult. What did I do? I drew 2 cards. 1, 2. Really not a whole lot else I can do. We'll keep drawing. 3. All this engineering. I can't even interact with the hostile alien. 4. Oh, there's a science. And he can't leave the room. So we're going to give that science to... We're not going to give the science to anybody. We're just going to hold it for now. And 5, and that is his entire turn. Just drawing cards, nothing else. Alert! Alert! Strange energies have been detected. Engineering may not be entered or exited because of the strange energies. You can only teleport into there. Which... The teleporter. The dang teleporter. Yeah, we are basically completely screwed at this point. All right, it's a tactical officer's turn. First thing she's going to do, kill this alien because she can't do anything else while the alien is there. She is now going to draw a card and just please pray for some science. 2. Nope. I just need 4 science to deal with this dang power drain anomaly. And then I can start dealing with the dang strange energies. 1, 2... Did she do... Oh, she drew 2 cards, I think. Oh, she killed an alien and she drew a card. We're going to draw 1 more card. 3. We're going to draw another card. 4. I'm just going to discard it. Oh, my science! My science! I need science! Okay, another alien... Oh, yeah, another alien transport has arrived. Dang, 2 alien transports. That means 2 aliens are going to beam in to the CPU core at the start of the soldier's turn. She's going to use 1 action to blow them both to Kingdom Come. Alien Kingdom Come, that is. She's going to draw a card. No! I think we've lost the game at this point. I mean, nobody is damaging our shields, at least. 3. Oh, good. Science. That's what we need. And I guess she'll move into this hallway. This is ridiculous. This is completely ridiculous. Okay. Alert, alert. Siege on the computer core. 4 more hostile aliens have appeared. Okay. It's just a lot of aliens coming up, which is not in and of itself bad. It's not going to make me lose the game. But I really don't feel like there's any way to recover from this horrible situation. I should just play without anomalies. Three characters, no anomalies. Seems winnable. I wonder if 6 characters and anomalies would be winnable as well. There's a balance with a lot of these games that you kind of have to deal with, where the more characters, the less control you have. But also, with a game like this, the more characters, the more different skills you have. You can spread out on the board and have each person sort of in their own place. Each person has more skill cards to have, but then it takes longer to get back to your next turn. So you have to plan things farther in advance. It's the hologram's turn. Oh, and at the beginning of his turn, guess what? 2 more hostile aliens beam in. Okay, now I'm getting this hostile alien thing being a threat. Well, he can't do anything about them. He's unaffected by them, but he also can't do anything. What he is going to do is, unfortunately, we're going to have to discard these engineering cards, but he's going to give 1 to science. To the soldier. So she can at least repair this anomaly. Now she's got 2 science. She's going to have to discard some cards. She's going to discard these 2 engineering cards, unfortunately. All right, that's 2 actions. He's got 3 more actions. He can draw 3 more cards. Really? 1. 2. And now we're going to have to start discarding if I draw another card. Is there not a tool for, like, researching anomalies? Come on. I guess there's 2 science cards still locked up there. Three. You have to discard a card. We'll discard this tactical, which is completely useless to me in this particular game. Okay, an alien frigate has arrived. So now we've got 3 alien ships, 3 hostile alien ships here, 2 transports and an alien frigate. It is the tactical officer's turn. We've got 2 more hostile aliens beaming in. I'm not going to bother putting stickers on these bad boys. And still nothing happening to the shields. So we're still going to be able to survive. We're just not able to do anything. Like, for instance, on her turn, she can't do anything because there's so many hostile aliens. She can't use the teleporter. I really should have prevented that teleporter from being destroyed. I don't think there was a way. Yeah, you know what? Instead of drawing that extra card, he's going to give a command card to her. Then we can at least avoid this next bad thing. There's nothing else for her to spend the command cards on. So she's going to spend 2 actions to shoot 2 aliens. She's going to spend a third action to shoot another alien. She's going to then, well, spend her last action to shoot an alien. There you go. And then she's going to use 3 command cards at the end of her turn to avoid this casualty report. Okay, so this is the card that's going to lose me the game. If I haven't dealt with everything by then, which it's pretty much impossible, I'm going to lose the game when the teleporters overload. All right, Soldier's turn. All right, she's got enough science. She's going to go down to the science lab. She's going to... Oh, actually, at the start of her turn, though, 2 hostile aliens appear in the hallway with her. She's going to use 1 action to shoot both of them, because she's so cool like that. Go down to the science lab. She's going to research the anomaly that is preventing us from repairing shields, although really nothing we can do at this point. And gonna go back into the hallway, I think. Actually, no. Okay, we're gonna start the whole turn over again. No use in fixing this anomaly yet. Yeah. All right, so she's going to start out her turn. 2 hostile aliens beam in. She's going to shoot them. Going to go into the armory. She's going to shoot all the hostile aliens in the computer core. 1, 2. She's going to then fire a torpedo at... at the alien transport. One of them. Yeah. This is prolonging the inevitable at this point, but... All right, and then guess what? 3 hostile aliens are going to appear in her space, and she's going to become injured. It is the hologram's turn. He needs another command to avoid this terrible thing that's about to happen. At the start of his turn, we teleport in 1 hostile alien. He's going to draw a card. All right, we've got 1 command. I think we have to discard a card for this. Yes. 1, 2, 3. No. We can have that. All right, so she's injured. What does that mean? An injured person can still move. So she can move into the infirmary at least. And she can still fight aliens. Okay, so he's got the 3 command he needs to be able to avoid this bad thing from happening. Although it might actually be better to let the external scanners go down so that we can not have to reduce the shields by 30%. But what else is he going to do? Honestly. I think he's going to spend 3 actions to give 3 command to the tactical officer so that she can avoid something happening on her turn. And then he's going to draw 1 more skill card, which is a science card, which is good. Finally, we're getting these. Okay. Scanner failure. This external scanners go down. Discard all face-up alerts. These external scanners are not just offline, they are now destroyed. Discard all face-up alerts. That means we're flying blind now. But you know what? It's better than losing the game. So, tactical officer's turn. Start of her turn, she gets one alien in her location, which means she's going to spend most of her turn shooting aliens. She's going to go 1, 2, shoot these 2 aliens. 3, 4. She's going to grab a science, replace one of the engineering with a science. And let's see what alert she gets to avoid. Reduce the shields by 30%. Yes. Okay, so she's going to use her command ability to avoid that from happening. Not on my watch. Okay, and it is the soldier's turn. Now she can fight aliens. Let me see if there's a clarification on here. It says roll abilities are available even if you're injured, so that's good enough for me. She's going to fight these 3 aliens in the armory. Just get them out of the way. She's going to go... Oh, and another alien appeared at the start of her turn. She's going to go 1, 2, and she's going to heal up with the trauma station. Mein Gott. Okay. Internal sensors are destroyed. Discard face-up skills. All players in the computer core are injured. Oh no! The tactical officer has been injured and the internal sensors have been destroyed. That's good. I didn't use any of those cards to begin with. But the part about being injured kind of sucks. All right, this increased gravity I probably should have dealt with earlier, but my god, I did not have enough science to go around. I need a science officer in here. That was the soldier's turn. Now it is the hologram's turn. He remains unaffected by anything. So he can just give and take cards. That's basically his role. He's going to draw cards and give them to other players. He's going to give this science card. You know what? I feel like she had 4 science. I think she had 4 science. I don't know what happened there. Is there any science in the discard pile? All the way down here. No, I think she did have this extra science card. Okay. He's going to give this science to the tactical officer. An alien appears at the start of his turn. He's going to draw a card, which is a science. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's 4 actions so far. And he's going to give this other science card to her. Let's see what awful thing happens. Reduce the shields by 20%. Bum, bum, bum. Finally, I managed to claw on for a pretty respectable amount of time, but our ship has finally exploded. Well, I can tell you, that was an incredibly difficult experience. I certainly would not play with that same number of characters on that same difficulty again. I think if I were to play this game, next time I play this game, if I play with 3 characters, I think I would remove the anomalies from the deck. Or I might try with 4 and see if it's any easier. Perhaps even go up to 6. But that was the captain is dead. The captain remains dead. Everybody else is now dead. The aliens are dead. I hope you enjoyed the game. And that's going to be it for today. I'll see you probably not next week. I will be working again next Friday, but the week after I might be able to do another game. So let me know if you have any requests for what game you would like to see me play. Got lots of cooperative and solo games to play. Otherwise, though, dear Lord, I needed a lot more science than I was getting.